I don't know if you guys noticed, but we wanted to use it as a chicken coop, like put a chicken coop there. I have been desiring another baby. I feel like I get really judged for it. Delete all the baby apps, even the pregnancy ones. Sometimes like moderation with social media, it doesn't exist for certain people. Sometimes you just gotta opt out of it. Personal time, what that usually looks like for me is, hello you guys, my name is Zai. Welcome back to my channel. I have not sat down to film a video in such a long time. By the way, if you're new here, again, I'm Zai. I film motherhood, lifestyle, my faith journey, all that kind of content. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a Q&A. I haven't done this in such a long time. And again, I haven't sat down and just like filmed a video where I'm just chatting with you guys and not vlogging, and this is gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to it. I had you guys ask me on Instagram some questions, and I ordered them in a way where I can kind of just like get through the easy questions first, and then they get a little more chatty. So sit back, relax. We're just gonna chat together today. First question, beauty products / brands you recommend. I swear by Merit. It's a clean, vegan, cruelty-free beauty brand. I use their makeup. I don't want to say daily because I don't do my makeup daily, but every time I do my makeup, they're just a huge part of my makeup routine. Most of the products I wear are from them, but especially their minimalist stick. I even wore it to a wedding, and I am someone who doesn't wear super heavy face makeup. I like to do like more of a natural look, at least natural for me, and I just love their minimalist stick. I also use their serum that they came out with, which is also amazing. Another brand that I'd recommend is, I haven't used a ton of their products, but I think it's pronounced Kosas. It's another clean brand, but I really like them as well. A lot of the makeup and beauty skincare products that I use, I usually will link in my like to know it, so I'll make sure to link that down below for you guys too, and I'll have on there all of my skincare, all of my makeup looks, so you guys can check that out. Did you get a ring upgrade? I don't know if you guys noticed, but no, I did not get a ring upgrade. My ring still doesn't fit me. I'm either still swollen or I haven't lost weight. I don't know. I still can't fit into my wedding ring, and it sucks. I actually have to get it resized. Like, I kept thinking, no, I'm just gonna let more months pass and let more months pass, and it still doesn't fit me. So I ended up getting a ring at Hobby Lobby, and it looks real. This looks like a real wedding ring. I actually had somebody comment on it at the wedding that we just recently went to. So it looks legit. I just needed something. I kept looking single. More home upgrades. Yes, I actually mentioned this in a previous video, but we have a barn door that we are gonna put up soon. It should have been up already. We were supposed to have it up before Josie's first birthday, but it ended up not working out. We got the measurements and all that stuff wrong, but just fix my hair a little bit. But we're getting our barn door soon. We're replacing the windows in the kitchen. We're replacing the faucet in the sink in the kitchen. I'm convincing Steven, I'm like, please, I just want my farmhouse sink. I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm not too sure about it yet. I gotta see if I'm biting off more than I can chew, but there's this whole section in our backyard where our like cinder block garden beds used to be from when the previous owners had the house. I think they put that there. I don't know. We never liked it, to be honest. A lot of people thought that we should have kept it, but we didn't like it there, and it was in a very odd space. And so we finally got done clearing that bit out, and what we wanted to use it for is because it's on the side of the house. We wanted to use it as a chicken coop, like put a chicken coop there and then have the side of the house be the chicken run, because it's like nice and shaded and not an area where a lot of predators can get into, and just something that we could secure. But as much as I want chickens, I'm just like, again, Am I biting off more than I can chew? Because on top of that, we want to, again, utilize our backyard, because right now I feel like only half of the backyard we're utilizing. But another piece was doing in-ground garden beds. But then I'm like, we got the chickens, which if we let them out, they'll probably eat everything. And so again, it's like we're going back and forth. We're trying to figure things out. If we're gonna do anything, I think it's for sure the in-ground garden beds, and then we're gonna rip up this grass. And so anyways, those are just ideas, but and of course we would like to replace both of our sliders. We have a slider in our bedroom and a slider next to the kitchen. They're just really old, and we would like to, at least in our bedroom, replace this slider that's right in front of me into a French door, but that's gonna be costly. So maybe sometime next year, but I would love some French doors. And then eventually in the backyard too, we'd have like, we would expand our deck, and so we'd open up the French doors. It'll lead to the backyard, onto the deck. And yeah, so, you know, lots of money. That's why it's gonna take time. Are you considering having baby number 3? I'd be lying if I said I haven't thought about it a lot recently. I thought for sure after Josie was born that we would be done, and who knows, maybe we are, I don't know. But I have been desiring another baby. And it sucks because when I mention it to like people in our personal lives, I feel like I get really judged for it. And it's like, oh, you have 2 of each, you want another one? It's that kind of thing. And I don't know, it just really sucks. It feels really isolating. It's always a conversation between my husband and I. It's like a daily conversation. And honestly, it's one of those things where I am 100% surrendering to the Lord, because there have been countless of times where I will sit in bed or in my car and I think of all the reasons why I desire another baby, but then I'll also think of all the fears that come from pregnancy, delivery, trying to manage another child. And because of that, I've just completely laid myself down for the Lord to make that decision for us, because if that's a part of His will for our lives, then we will have a 3rd baby. I would be very happy if we had a 3rd. And I'm trying to talk myself into being okay if we don't, because I'm very happy with my 2 kids. I'm very content. I love both of them, and I think it's because I love both of them so much that I want another one. Like, my heart just grew in so many ways. And so I don't know if a 3rd baby is what's meant for us or not. I desire one, my husband desires one, but again, it's all in God's plan. My kids are supposed to be sleeping and I hear one fussing and the other one calling me. Okay, I'm back and with a coffee. Lucas is skipping his nap and Josie is teething like really bad. I felt her gums and she has a new one coming in at the top and the bottom. So I gave her a little bottle, warm bottle, to hopefully try to help her go back to sleep, but then that didn't really work. So then we cuddled on the couch for a little bit and then I just laid her back down. So fingers crossed. She's sucking her thumb right now. So I'm gonna try to get through this in case she doesn't end up falling asleep. Okay, next question. How I plan / schedule my week. So I don't really have like a super strict schedule, if at all, really. Right now, the way things have been, my Mondays tend to be my busiest days of the week, which is something that I actually really want to change. But Mondays are when I do the grocery shopping instead of Sundays. I'll do the grocery shopping usually on Mondays, and then I'm like basically all day in the kitchen cooking. And I really don't like that schedule for myself right now, because I really want Mondays to be more of a like relaxed and slow start to my week instead of like burning out super quick like I've been. But something I do is I always have a grocery list set and I plan my meals of the week. I didn't do this in the past and I ended up going to the grocery store spending a ton of money because groceries are expensive no matter where you're going, and then never having enough food for the week, and that just wasn't a wise way to spend our money. So I always make sure, always have a list. I do plan 1 to 2 play dates for the kids, at least 1, or just like fun activities that involve us being outside, whether that's going to the park, whether that's us going to the library. Sometimes we'll do that multiple times, but the goal is to go at least once. And then as far as leaving the house, I have a goal to leave the house at least once a day. I don't like being cooped up in the house. I feel like I just go a little stir crazy, and so do the kids. And so some things that I do with them that I'll actually answer in this next question, which is how I balance personal time, time with my husband, and time with my kids. Okay, as far as personal time, I'm reading through my notes because I know, mom brain, I'm gonna forget things. Personal time, what that usually looks like for me is waking up early. That's just how my life works. I have to wake up before everybody else because the days are unpredictable. This is a very good example. This nap time, you guys can't see the chaos because I'm literally starting and stopping this video, but like in between takes I've had to leave. You just don't know how the day's gonna go. So waking up early is super important for me, and I actually struggled with that I think last month. I just could not wake up earlier than the kids. I don't know what it was. I just felt tired all the time, and I am anemic, but my levels are, it's very borderline. Like I'm barely anemic is what I like to say, and it really doesn't come out unless I'm pregnant, but I'm not pregnant. And so I was really just like, I was just really surprised about that, thinking that I need to get back on my iron pills, but also a lot of that involves me doing like exercise, like actually moving my body more than just like walking around the house. And so I've started doing that, and that's my me time. That's my personal time, is waking up, exercising. I'm back on my bar workout, spending time with the Lord, spending time in my Bible, doing quiet time. Even when my quiet time isn't always quiet, I do it sometimes even when the kids are around. And my time with the kids, I try to be very intentional. I've been really working on this because I found that I was either too focused on house chores, or sometimes I was too focused on entertaining the kids, and then I would fall behind on everything else. And so I've slowly been readjusting things. Some new things that I have been implementing, mainly with my oldest, with Lucas, since he's almost 4, is I know a lot of us deal with that like mom guilt of the house chores and not feeling like we're putting all of our attention to our children. And that's something that, it's been a new learning curve for me. Something that I've been doing differently is, because he's at the age now where he's very capable of doing chores, I have been giving him chores that are reasonable within his age. And so a couple examples are, I have been making him put his laundry away, not folding it, because to be honest, it doesn't stay nice and neat and organized in there, but he knows where everything goes. He knows where his underwear goes, he knows where his pajamas goes, he knows where his shorts goes. The only thing I help him with are his shirts and his tops, because those need to be hung up and he can't reach those. But I'll set out a pile for him of all his clean clothes, I'll give it to him, and that is his chore. And that's something that he's also learning, that it's a lot of work. Today actually he told me, he goes, "Ugh, Mom," he's like, "I can't put all these clothes away, that's a lot of work." And that was a really good opportunity for me to engage and teach my toddler like the importance of taking care of our things and like the responsibility of it all. And so I told him, I said, "Yeah, honey," I'm like, "it is a lot of work, and I used to have to fold and put away your laundry. I still have to put away JoJo's laundry, Daddy's laundry, and Mommy's laundry. It's a lot of work, but I know you can do it." And it took him a little while. He was kind of fighting me on it, but he ended up doing it. I praised him, I told him I was super proud of him, and he felt really good about himself. And so I'll make him do that now. That's a new chore for him. Also take some stuff off my plate. I will have him help me put utensils away. Obviously not like any sharp knives or anything like that. I make sure to take that out. And I make him clean his playroom now, because the playroom literally gets trashed. at the end of the day, which is a blessing. Like, I'm so happy that they have such a good time in that playroom. That's what it's for. It's supposed to get messy, but it's not, and it shouldn't just all fall on me. And so I will help him if it is just so crazy in there, but his playroom is his responsibility. If he makes a mess, it is his responsibility to clean it up. And I told him when Josie's his age, it's gonna be the same thing for her. And because it's been so hot, it's been over like 110 degrees out here. It's been a really hot summer. I don't really want him outside unless I'm there supervising. So those are ways to sort of keep him entertained. And as far as finding time for my husband, we need to be, again, very intentional about this because of our two littles. I found doing like very basic things like hugging, like, you know, being affectionate, kissing, those things really help me feel closer to him. Those are things that can be so easily overlooked. I don't like feeling disconnected from my husband. Trying not to make the excuse that I'm too tired to have conversations with him at the end of the night. We aren't so like religious with like a date night every single week, but we have been talking about taking on a hobby together. My husband's really into golfing, and I told him that I'd be willing to get into golfing just so it's something for us to do together. It's kind of an expensive sport, not gonna lie. I wouldn't join him all the time, but it's something that he loves. It's something he's been doing more and more with his friends, and something that I have been encouraging him to do more of. And it's something that I wanted, again, to join him with, and something that he was really excited to hear that I wanted to be a part of. How do you always keep your house tidy? Oh, well, one, I don't. And two, I feel like I kind of answered that a little bit with like my toddler's help. But there are a couple things that I do every single day: vacuum, laundry, dishes. Don't like to let my dishes pile up. I'm in the kitchen all the time, and if I let the dishes pile up, cooking dinner is just not as easy, and it's not as motivating because you see dirty dishes in the sink and you're like, I gotta wash those first, then I gotta cook dinner. It's a whole thing. Something that I actually want to get better at is actually having a cleaning schedule. That is something that I haven't tried yet, but I need to. I don't think I can answer that question very well. My house looks put together a lot of the time on social media. Just remember, social media is just what we want you guys to see. I think for me, I'm someone who's better with like putting things away than I am with deep cleaning. This is a really good question somebody asked. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, by the way. If you could go back, what advice would you give yourself as a first-time mom? That is a great question. And something that I've actually reflected on recently. So a couple things. One, I feel like as first-time moms, we get caught up with all of the baby products and thinking that having the most expensive, having the nicest, having the most luxurious is gonna make our postpartum first-time mom experience easier, when that's really not the case. What's gonna make things easier is having a ton of support and having a husband who supports you. Another thing I would tell myself as a first-time mom is to delete all the baby apps, even the pregnancy ones. And let me explain a little more about that. So I actually watched a recent video from Lisa Bass. She's Farmhouse on Boone. I know I mention her all the time, but I love her videos. She was talking about how mothers today have less of a physical load, right? We just talked about all the baby products, but we have gotten more of a mental load with social media, with all of these baby apps, always feeling like we need to track things, that we need to go to a device to figure out what's going on with our bodies or with our babies, and not really allowing for us to learn ourselves. But I thought, wow, that's a really great point. We track everything from feedings to which breast we fed last, to diaper changes, to our contractions, to like week by week, trimester by trimester, like what's our body doing now. And like, not to say that those things are bad, but those things at least I think aren't needed. And I think that's something that I would do differently if I had a third, is just trust my own instincts over what my device is telling me, because that mental load is what exhausts us the most, I feel like. And so those are 2 pieces of advice that I would give my first time mom self. Okay, last 2 questions. Anything you regret doing / not doing with your second baby? Yes. First thing that comes to mind is I regret giving her a bottle. I regret giving Josie a bottle and having a breast pump. While a breast pump was really convenient for some things, like if we're traveling, it made me succumb to it quicker because it was there. And I told myself I didn't want to use a breast pump honestly at all. I just had it for an emergency. I didn't want to use a breast pump. I really wanted to try breastfeeding for longer with Josephine. I did it for 6 months with Lucas, and I didn't even last a month with Josie. And it made me so sad because I forgot how to breastfeed, and so my nipples were cracking. I was literally crying and in pain, and I ended up giving her a bottle. And then once I learned how to reattach her, it was too late. She took to the bottle, and that is just like a huge regret of mine. And then last question, are you quitting social media? I feel like somebody asked me this because I had done a poll on my Instagram asking you guys if you had ever thought about deleting your social media platforms and how many you guys had. I was just genuinely curious. No, not yet anyway. I've definitely thought about it time after time after time. I'm like, it's mainly just Instagram because I don't have TikTok. I tried downloading it 2 or 3 times. It was just another thing to distract me from my day-to-day, another thing to like post content to, and I'm like, I just felt like I didn't need it. I don't need TikTok, and I asked myself, like, do I need Instagram? And I thought about it. I thought about just deleting it and just kind of like being done. Sometimes like moderation with social media, it doesn't exist for certain people. Sometimes you just gotta opt out of it. Everything's just so fast now. There's shorts. And so anyways, I am gonna wrap up this video because my little one is still not sleeping, and I thought she fell asleep, and I'm getting more stressed out than anything. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys got this far, thank you so much. Love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.